And yeah, I'm actually put a bit quite far away from our today's topic. So back to the bookstore problem. So I mean not problem, it's an advantage. So actually, I'm trying to every day spend some time like going to the bookstore, or yeah, I have to break out of my comfort zone and reduce my laziness, as actually we really need lots of time to really achieve that. I can understand every concept which is useful to my own life in a book. So don't talk about bookstores having a lot of books. Even just one single book, you need a lot of time to really understand and integrate every concept from the book and extract some useful informations that helps your daily life or personal life. So for technical books, actually it's more easier that I can just take a photo on. But some books like entrepreneurships, I really need more time to study about that book. And actually in library, the books are more meaningful, and especially for CHK library, maybe the librarian or the administrator of this bookstore is trying to restructured or selected some or categorized some meaningful books for teenagers and led us to read them conveniently through the bookstores. And it's also quite accessible. The bookstore is really near the MTR station, so of course I'm in United College and it's quite far away from my hostel, as I have to ride a school bus to arrive there, but it is still convenient. It's just maybe 10 minutes time for a bus, and I can go there and read for 2 hours. Especially for sometimes if I'm going outside to Shatton Library with John Jay, or I'm just directly back home after that, then I can actually go down the school bus in the SHHO college and walk to the bookstore to read some books before back home. So this can actually reinforce my knowledge, and also just trying to make my life more meaningful. Then when I'm back home, I have my more personal assets, and if I have something that I don't know, I can also ask my dad, as my dad is really thoughtful person and he knows a lot of knowledge. His social relationship is really strong, and he has built a really strong social network since he was from teenage. He is the president of student union in his university. I mean not university, maybe high associate. I don't know. That time PolyU is not even a university. So, and then he's trying to explore the whole world. He has also did his own business with his friend, but he realized that there are really much problems, and he gave up eventually due to interest conflicts. So I actually have a lot to learn from him and from the library. And I realized that actually bookstores and library is similar. Some books in library also exist in the bookstore, but those books in library may be also useful, but you really need to select some useful books instead of just blindly buy all the books or borrow all the books you wanted or related to your recent studies. So that's not a feasible option, because sometimes you are really selecting a book that can benefit yourself, and you're trying to learn all the concepts I've stated in the book. But when you're borrowing tons of useless books, or some books that the author is not famous, the author, sometimes I feel that more thoughtful person appears in other nations, especially for England or United States. So their book published is actually quite popular, and they can really change your life. But books that publish in Hong Kong, maybe if you can maybe say that it more suits the society environment, but some authors just really write books for earning, and they don't have really much thoughts is exact actually. So when you're reading that kind of books, you feel that it's actually useless sometimes. So you have to really differentiate and read more books to realize that which kind of book is stuff that you like. And actually now I've got more the idea of which books are valuable to myself, especially for large books. Actually, I just read few pages, I've already know which kind of books I like. So sometimes when I'm trying to conclude which kind of books and what have I learned from the bookstores or library, I cannot conclude anything. So now actually I realize the reason as well as in this stage of reading, actually I'm just trying to understand the books in library and which kind of books is useful for myself. So before, when I'm in the 3 months of frustration, I've just selecting all the books that is related to communication or social skills or romantic relationships and borrow it back home to read. And I realized that if I read all those the knowledge, I feel that it's quite useless, because I'm just blindly choosing all the books I want. I want instead of it's really useful. So now actually when I'm having a more clear mindset, like I know what I want, I know which books are good, and I have the appropriate library knowledge, then I will not feel the same as now. So actually now I can clearly identify which books are useful, and especially for foreign authors that writes a large book about some kind of theories or like economic aspects and knowledge, especially for knowledge. Like sometimes they are trying to combine theories with real life applications, and that is actually the best kind of book I have to read through. And only theory will make you like it's too far away from yourself, and only applications will make you only know the results instead of relearning them. So now I will know that a good book should include both, and some books really inspires us, especially for human improving, like life improving books that can really save your life and improve your efficiency for tons, like the Atomic Habits. John Jay have also bought this, actually really good. Like when I read about it, I can feel the difference from other books. You can actually feel that. And some other books like have a Dating with Success, something like that. That's also quite useful as well. And I will consult my dad whether I should buy this kind of book or not. And I will also look at the library and see which category this kind of books are related to, and try to find this kind of books in some large libraries like Central Library or Shatin Library is actually large as well. And